Man, come on. All right. So let me go to virtual machines. If you remember, we had to create a virtual machine which we have downloaded. So you can also get started with your virtual machine. So my virtual machine is basically getting started. Okay, I had to change the machine's processors. Okay, fine. I'll do that. But before that, let us try one more thing. Because the people who are in their first month of free trial, right? You will not be able to create a machine whose size is greater than 4 virtual CPUs. This is a restriction which Microsoft will have. So if you go with the 8 processor machine, it will be costlier than what we think. So right. So yesterday we were supposed to copy the virtual machine, and when we were copying the virtual machine, we got an error message saying that you need to have 8 processors. This is what we have done in our last class. So let us see. There were some other options also there. Tools. Shabir, yes, Shabir, you would receive an email from uh, Amazon or Microsoft saying that you have to convert that. You have to do that. So your free trial is expired, then you have to convert that to pay as you go, and you still have 11 months of free services. Right. Okay. So if you remember, import virtual machine. Okay. We had downloads folder. In downloads, Azure Migrate Appliance. Okay. And we had to select this folder. Next, we got this. So here we have the following: register the virtual machine in place, restore the virtual machine, and copy the virtual machine. Yesterday we were trying to use this copy the virtual machine, and we got this error message. Let me try to use register the virtual machine. Let us see what happens. Okay. So it is trying to tell that it is not possible for you to have 8 processors. Okay. So now can you reduce the count of it? So I can go with possibly 4. Okay. What is your Ethernet? Internal NAT. Finish. Okay. So this is something which you need to do. Okay. Right. So this is something which you need to do. And have you done that now? Register the virtual machine. Can you please do that? Okay. So one is copy the virtual machine, which would basically you will get this error. The other one is this. Uh, Shabir, you cannot do that. If you have gone through the free trial account video also, I'll try to tell that it is an expirable $200 credit which you get. You have to create a pay as you go and your $200 are gone. Okay. Right. So please read the stuff, sir. Please read it. Okay. Right. So I have the virtual machine that is ready. So let me get started. Let me go ahead and start this virtual machine. This virtual machine is a beast. Okay. And you can get started by starting other virtual machines also. But your machine will become extremely slow. So if you see, I'm starting all of the virtual machines, whatever I have. Okay. And let us see the networking configuration. Still the IP address is not received. Okay. It will take some time for us to get the IP address. You have to just wait. Okay. So please start all of your machines. Okay. Please do that activity. And once you are done, please ping me on that. Right. You are getting the error, but try to use a copy machine and try to use a four virtual CPUs machine. So if you see, my size is 4 virtual CPUs and 16 GB. Yeah. Chain size. Yeah. Sir, if your machines, physical machine doesn't have 4 virtual CPUs, how can your virtual machine will be having that? All right. Okay. Okay. So let me go ahead and Azure migration 4.md. Okay. Right. So let me continue with assessment. Okay. If the copy virtual machine is not working out, why it will not work out? Because of the memory size restrictions. But please don't do this in your office. In your office, you would require 8 CPUs for this machine because this has to be faster. For our experiment, it's okay, right? Because this machine is designed to discover 5,000 VMs. This machine is basically designed to do large scale activities, and what we are doing is a very small scale, right? So try register option while importing VM and change the VM configuration So for example, for any VM, okay, for example, if I want to change the configuration, if you right click and click on settings, are using memory, I can stop this machine and I can change this RAM amount to 4 GB back. So if you look at this, all the processor, so I can stop this machine and I can make this to 2 processors, right? So you have to do that. Okay. So if you really want to basically use it in a different way, then shut down these machines. And when you shut down, right click on this machine, go to settings, and then change the settings by saying that my memory of this machine is 4 GB. Okay. And the processors of this machine, if you click on settings, you will have processors. Okay. So I would, okay, this is my Apache, but if you require, if you click on this Azure migrate appliance, okay, here there are 4 virtual processors, change it to 2 so that your normal machine also will suffice, but that will be dead slow. That will be dead slow, right? Okay. Okay then. So I have this virtual machine. Now, what I'll do is I'll log in into that virtual machine. Okay. So I'll say accept. And then I need to set some password. Uh, so you need to do this activity. So once you do this activity, you have everything set up on this machine. So this is the appliance which will help, okay, for us to act as connectivity or to act as a machine which would assess and then help in migration of the machines, where other machines from Hyper-V into Azure, from Hyper-V into Azure. Now, take this machine's IP address 192.168.0.103. Okay. So now let me basically do one thing. So this. Okay. I want you to strictly follow the documentation. So let me open the documentation. So if you see, by following this documentation, I am able to import the VM. And now, what is he trying to tell us? Ensure that your VM has an access to public cloud and all of that stuff, right? So once you log in into this machine, okay, you have created the username and password. Okay. Just ensure whatever is present. So for example, if you're doing this migration into public cloud, then you would do it. Majority of us end up using public cloud, but some of you might end up working in a government cloud also. So if it is government cloud, then you need to look into these URLs. So now the following URLs is something uh, which will be accessed from your virtual machine. All right. So now let me get into this virtual machine. Let me just say ping. Okay. Azure.com. Okay. There is nothing called as Azure. Ping google.com. First to check whether I'm getting internet or not. Yes, I'm getting internet. Yeah. Right. So this is a basic connectivity that is more than enough. But if you still want, you can go to server manager, turn off the internet security, and then verify all of those IP addresses manually. That is your choice. That is your choice. Right. Okay. So now let me close this virtual machine. Okay. And let me take this machine's IP address. What is this machine's IP address? 192.168.0.103. Okay. And see what it tries to tell. HTTPS IP address of the appliance 44368. Right. So now what I'll do is I'll use HTTPS colon slash slash 192.168.0.103 colon 44368. So it says this stuff. Okay. Now you continue to this. Then it will ask your username and password. And if you remember, the username was administrator. Okay. And the password is whatever password which I have created while logging in. So administrator. Right. So you get to this. The screenshot I wanted. Okay. Right. Okay. So you need to give this stuff. Okay, this is your machine's IP address, and then you need to basically do this. Okay, I'll try to copy this at now. Try to accept the license agreement. Try to accept the license agreement. Okay. Sir, are you following documentation money? Yesterday I've shared the documentation already. Go to the documentation and find out what it is. Right? Yeah. So I would want you to read the documentation. See, even after you look at all of this classroom, you are able to do all the stuff. Please look at the documentation because this steps change all the time. So if you remember the steps and redo, it might not work out also. So now in this phase, basically what you are trying to do is, okay, let me go over here. One minute. Just a moment. Okay. Right. So in this page, what we will try to do is, okay. So here, okay, setting up connection between Hyper-V host, okay, and Azure using appliance. So this appliance, using this appliance here, what is that we set up? We set up the uh, connectivity between Azure and Hyper-V host. Once we set up the connectivity between Hyper-V host and Hyper-V stuff, then what we try to do is, okay, so that, so we can assess or migrate Hyper-V VMs. Tomorrow, when you do the stuff in VMware also, nothing changes. It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Okay. Right. So this appliance, rather than creating in the Hyper-V, you will be creating them in the VM. Okay. Right. So let me go over here. Copy path. Okay. Now, after the VM is created, okay, navigate to VM IP address as mentioned in the documentation. I would still refer you people using the documentation. There is no doubt about it. Okay. So this part, configure the appliance. Okay. I can be specific with respect to settings over here. Okay. Right. This activity takes time depending on how huge your machine is. If we try to create a machine which is 4 GB of or 8 GB of RAM or 8 processors and 16 GB of RAM, it would be much faster. Okay. So AZMIG 14. AZMIG 14.png. Right. So let us wait for this UI to be done. Okay. So it tries to tell that your management app needs to be restarted. Okay. I'll try to click here. Okay. Now you accept. Now, once you install updates by, okay, I'll not write this. Do I need to? Because, okay. And try to configure connectivity between Azure and Hyper-V. Okay. On the same web page. So whenever you want to do the migration, you have to configure this web page. So right now, are you seeing it is trying to tell continue? Okay. So if you want, I can basically take this part. Okay. So right, let me click on continue. Okay. So here you will be basically seeing this login. So man, right. Right. Fine. Okay. Good. Right. Now over here, you are asked to log in into Azure. Okay. Now give your credentials. Give your accounts credentials. Okay. This account, whatever you are giving, needs to have all the permissions which we have discussed in prepare Hyper-V hosts. Okay. Now, basically, as per mentioned over here, your projects will be configured. Okay. So I'm not entering this. Okay. So I'll try to select my subscription and then what is your Azure Migrate project? Okay. And what is your appliance name? Okay. So you can give appliance name, any appliance name which you want, right? So, but if you want to be very specific, you can give the exact name. So you can try to call it as AZ MIG1 and then register. Just give a decent name for your appliance so that you can be able to do that. Because in reality, whenever you're migrating, you might have multiple appliances. So click on register. Okay. So your register is also successful. Now click on continue. This is the place where you need to add Hyper-V host. Hyper-V host. So this is something which is quite tricky now. Okay, so you need to basically say that I want to add a Hyper-V host. So what is your username? My username is administrator. Okay, password. Oh, my username is not administrator on Hyper-V host. It is okay. For friendly name also I'm giving it as Qt DevOps. Save details. Okay. Now he's trying to tell, okay, can you specify the Hyper-V host? Okay. So you can give your host name or you can give your host IP address. Okay. Now this is the Hyper-V host name. Okay. If you click on CMD and IP config. Okay. So if you look at the Hyper-V hosts IP address is this. Hyper-V host IP address is this. Okay. And if you want to give the host name is Qt DevOps. So let me try to give Qt DevOps. So, right. So this should happen. Okay. If this validation is failing, then there is something wrong with the virtual switch setup which you have done. Okay. So in this case, we need to give the host, Hyper-V host. Hyper-V host is the virtual machine on which we are creating, or the machine on which we are creating these virtual machines. Okay. Now you have to just say save and start discover. Done. Now, if you see what he's trying to tell us, you will be able to review the discovered machines on the Azure portal. Okay. So once you set up everything correctly, then you will get this option. Okay. So we have to wait approximately 6 minutes. We have to wait approximately 6 minutes for this whole stuff to happen. Okay. So after that, there is no need for me to worry about this. I can do rest of the stuff from Azure itself. Rest of the stuff from Azure itself. Okay. 15. And then the last one. Okay. So these activities do not require any technical expertise. It is basically setting up the server in the right way and then following the documentation. That's it. Okay. So 14, 15, and 16. Okay. Right. And try to understand one thing. Discovery takes around 1.5 minutes per host. So totally I have 4 hosts in that machine. So it will take 6 minutes for me. Okay. To appear in Azure portal. In Azure portal. Okay. So to verify that in basically Azure portal, what I need to do is get into Azure. Okay. Remember yesterday we were working on migrate project. In migrate projects, there was servers. So if you get into this servers, you will see, sorry, saying this discovery is in progress. This should be finished. Okay. And rather than seeing 0 over there, you will be seeing a better number. You will be seeing a better number. That is basically what it is. Okay. Okay. Now this is what you would be doing. Now, let us just follow this document. So I'll go over here and open the document over here, because from now on, I can do all of this stuff from my machine itself. Okay. So it is basically set up an assessment after this. Okay. Once I see the VMs in the portal, right. Or let me try to do the migration over here itself, because this appears to be better than. Okay. So let me go to Azure Migrate. Let me see servers. Okay. I have to wait till this discovered servers are basically done. Okay. Let me try to refresh. Okay. So we have to see some numbers over here. Till we see some numbers, we can't do much. Okay. Right. So while we see these numbers, let us look at this best practices for creating assessments. Okay. So in Azure, we have two kinds of assessment types. Okay. One is performance based. When you move to the Azure, you want basically the performance gain. Okay. In that case, assessments are basically made, and Azure will give you the suggestions with respect to the performance based stuff. The second option is whatever is running in the on premises, you want to run it in the exactly same way. There is no difference in the way how you want to run it. That is as is on premise. Okay. Right. So review best practices for assessments over here. You will be able to review the discovered servers. Right. Now let me see. Once you basically see this whole stuff, then you would be able to. So we have to just wait. It takes time, man. It is an approximation that it takes 6 minutes. Sometimes it might take more than that, or sometimes it might take less than that. Okay, 1.5 minutes is the bare minimum time. So once if you see the servers are discovered, then you would be able to create an assessment. This is time taking activity. I can't really make or increase the pace of it. Okay. So are you also in this page, or still there is something left? How many of you are on the same page as what I'm doing right now? No one is responding. Does that mean that you're not doing? So if you're not doing, I think I can increase the speed of it. Okay. All right. So I'm doing it at a very dead pace because I want you guys to understand what you're doing, because VMware migration, if you want to understand, you need to go through this step by step way. Yeah. If you see, I got my discovered servers now. Right. Good, sir. At least I have something. Okay. So if you see, I got my discovered servers. Right. So if you see, I got. So once the servers are discovered, you can create an assessment. You can create an assessment. So this is what I would be doing now. Okay. Once the servers are discovered, start assessment. Assessment. So to start that assessment, okay, the first thing is go with this, and what we need to do is we need to follow this documentation, which is setting up an assessment, right? So if you look at setting up an assessment, basically there are two kinds of assessments. We are reviewing the stuff. Okay. Now you basically click on assess. I'll be doing all of this. I'll be doing basically, I'm just doing nothing but following this documentation, right? So I'll click on assess. Man, this is dead slow, man. Okay, right. So now if you see, it is asking what is your discovery source? What is your discovery source? So are you saying, are you importing the machines, or you basically machines discovered from Azure Appliance? It is machines discovered from Azure Appliance. And now what is your assessment's name? So let me call this as first assessment. Okay. And then what is that he's asking is, he's asking you to want to create a new group. Yeah, as I want to, you can say that you want to create a new group. Okay. So for example, I'll call this group as Linux group. Okay. And I'll be selecting only Linux machines. I'll be selecting Linux machines, and then I'll say create assessment. So if you see, I'm trying to select, the machines, okay, which are basically only Linux machines. Okay. That's just because I wanted to do it that way. Okay. Right. Yeah. Now let me copy this and then say create assessment. Okay. I'll assess Windows separately. Okay. All right. Let me do one thing. Fine then. So let me create an assessment and then try to select these machines. Try to select these machines. Okay. Right. Good. So once you have done that assessment, then we can create one more assessment. This time I am calling it as Windows assessment. Okay. Right. No, no. Let me go to Azure Migrate Servers. Assess. Because already I've created one assessment, I want to create one more. Okay. All right. So that is asking, are using assessment criteria right now? It is performance based. If you want, you can change it. So I'll try to say my assessment is second assessment, and I'm going to basically, you can say that you're going to use the existing group, which is Linux, or I'm going to create a new group, which I'm going to call it as Windows. And now if you scroll down, this time I'm selecting only a Windows machine, and then I click on create assessment. So totally, if you see, I am creating two assessments, one for Windows and one for Linux. Just it is not necessary that it has to be this way. Okay, you can create all of your machines at one shot, or you can basically create them in an order what that makes sense to you. Okay, right. So now you go ahead and then say create assessment. Okay. Now if you see, if I refresh this, there should be some assessments that would be that should be happening. Okay, so we have discussed 4 servers and then we are doing the assessments. Okay, so are using assessments. Now if you see, I have two assessments, the first one and the second one. And then if you select this assessments, okay, so whenever you select an assessment, it tries to tell you the confidence rating, so what would be the confidence of this machine? Is this machine ready for Azure? Is this ready with conditions? Okay, so ready with conditions means there are certain things which can basically you can do. So for example, you can recalculate this stuff. Okay, so this is the kind of assessment reports which Azure tries to give you. Now you get into this assessments again. Okay, let me look into this Windows. All right. So Windows is also basically giving you some kind of assessment report. So it tries to give you what would be the monthly cost of this machine after moving to Azure. Okay, not only that, it also speaks about, okay, what would be your rating. So for example, Windows machine is ready for Azure. The other two Linux machines are conditionally ready for Azure, right? So what do we mean by that? Conditionally ready with Azure, or the confidence ratings basically try to give, okay, try to give your confidence. And it is always better that you have this assessments done for the VMs which have been discovered at least one day later. But right now, okay, our confidence rating is low. Okay, one primary reason for that is just it is because your machines, whatever you are trying to basically do the assessment, they have been discovered less than one day. They have discovered within less than one day. So Azure recommendation is, if you get into this, Azure tries to give you a recommendation saying that, okay, if you want accurate assessments, ensure that after discovery, you keep this machines discovered for at least 1 day and then try to basically recalculate this report. But I don't think so we have that much amount of time, right, to basically do that. Okay, right. Now there are some questions. Let me try to answer that. Okay. While doing on premise migration, whenever we are doing migration, what will happen if the internet is broken? Nothing will happen. Okay, it depends on which step you are in, right? So generally, Azure migrate, if you are following that, then if you have done some steps. So for example, I am downloading the VM and then internet goes, so my download stops. I have to restart from download. It depends on at which point it is broken, and you have to start from there. Okay, right. We can give how much CPU to run smooth. No, actually give as much as possible, because you are doing a lot of migrations in your on-premise. Okay, so for this, try to give beast kind of machines in for Hyper-V hosts and appliances. Okay, when it comes to Azure, okay, generally the best idea is to go with performance plan, but don't worry about the Azure machine sizes, because they can be changed anytime. That is not at all a concern. Okay, so you look at cost. Okay, in this assessment report itself, you are getting a cost. If you're not happy with this cost, what you can do is you can basically go ahead, okay, saying that, okay, this is doing good, but the problem is it is trying to create a lot of cost stuff for me, so let me try to do it in a different way. So that is something which you need to basically look out for. Okay, so if you get into any of these details, it will try to tell you how this whole stuff is basically scheduled for. Now, if you see, he's trying to tell that he will be creating a machine with respect to Azure VM, which is the size standard underscore F1. Okay. Now we find out what that standard underscore F1 is. Okay. So can I change that? That is something which you need to work it out on. All right. So whenever you're creating an assessment, okay, so you can go to the assessments. Okay. So for example, I go to the discovered servers. These are all my discovered servers. Okay. Right. Now, there is one more thing that happens over here. So if you go into discovered servers, what we can do is, are you seeing this require agent installation? If you install this, you can also find out dependencies between your virtual machines. So which virtual machine is depending on what? Okay. That is something which we can do from here, but that's okay, man. Well, I'll not be doing that. So I'll say that I want to create an assessment. Okay. So now enter an assessment. I'll call it as trail assessment, and then I'll click on view all. So if I click on view all, it will show me basically all the properties which are basically used for migration. Are using performance based? I'll not say that performance based. I want as on VM, right? So what is the series which you want? So let us assume select all VM series. Okay, now I try to save this. Okay, create a new resource group, trail. And then here select IAS, Tomcat and Apache, and then say create assessment. So depending on your appliance or your approach, you can have a different kind of stuff which you can basically do. Okay, right. Fine. Okay, now good. $18, $19, and $20. Okay, and then review assessment as shown here. Okay, so have a assessment review. Now, if you go into the documentation, he will try to tell you what this review is all about, and then we go to migrate VMs, and then we go to migrate VMs. So In migrate VMs, we need to understand some of the stuffs, right? So you need to basically go ahead and start the migration and all of that stuff. Okay. Now that is something which I'm going to do right now. Okay. So I have this stuff. Now Azure migrate. Okay. So if you go into this Azure migrate, what he tries to tell us, okay. So if you look at this review, Hyper-V migration architecture, okay, we have already discussed about that. We have already discussed about Hyper-V migration. We have an appliance, and that appliance will basically help us in doing the stuff. Okay. What are the different Hyper-V host requirements? Okay. What are the Hyper-V VM requirements? Okay. Remember preparation step. In the preparation step, you have to go through all of this. Okay. So, right now, in the Azure Migrate project, what you need to basically do is you need to, okay, if you have a migrate, we already have set up the migration tool. So there is nothing which you need to do. Okay. Right. So now I need to go over here and then click on discover. When I click on discover, it will ask what is your virtual machine type. My virtual machine type is with Hyper-V. What is your target region? Okay. Uh, Let me say my target region is West US 2. Okay. Something like that. Whatever your stuff is. Now you click on confirm. Okay. So let us see how much we can do. Discover virtual machines, and we need to do one step. So for example, if you want to see what is it I'm trying to do in this documentation, okay. Right. Right. Now migration. Start migration as mentioned over here. So as I said, this is all documentation, and okay. So right now I'm basically trying to create resources. Okay. So are you seeing download? Okay. So this site registration provider is something which you need to install on your Hyper-V host. So what I would do is I would rather do this activity over here. Okay. S with Hyper-V. So are you seeing this? And then click on download. This downloading the registration key is required. Okay. This is already documented. And then you download the replication provider. Okay. So once you download this replication provider, you open this. You do this installation. Okay. Microsoft update. Yeah. Let me put it as on. So installation install. Okay, so this is a special installation, or this installation is extra required because generally you don't want to continue with migration, because you might be assessing the migration tools, and they have kept it separately. So assessment report is one side of the stuff, and the second one is basically this recovery services agent. Okay, right. Now are you seeing register? If you click on this register, then it will ask what is your key file. If you remember, just now we have downloaded one file. Go to the downloads. Okay. And I think I've downloaded this credentials. That's it. Okay. Now you get everything. Click on next. Connect directly to Azure Site Recovery. Yeah, that is the case. In your organization, if you have a proxy, HTTP proxy server, you will be basically doing that. Next. So once this registration is done, okay, and you would be seeing a connected sign, and from that connected sign, you can basically do the stuff. This registration must be finished. Yeah. Here you should be seeing an option saying that one is connected. Till that moment, we don't have an option. We have to wait. So I want to start the replication. That's the reason why. Okay. So are you saying the server is registered? Now if you click on finished, okay, you should be seeing this option of okay. Now let me try to close this and then click on discover. Okay, I'm going with Hyper-V. Are you seeing one connected? And then click on finalize registration. Okay, so are you seeing finalizing registration and completing the registration takes 10 to 15 minutes, and you can start replicating after 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this is something which you can basically try to do. Okay, now if you look into this, let me go into the documentation. Okay, finalize registration and start replication. Okay, so what I want you to do is, okay, finalize this registrations, and you would be seeing this setup. You would be seeing this setup. Okay, now what I want to do is, okay, I want you to replicate Hyper-V VMs. So for replicating Hyper-V VMs, all the options are basically shown over here. Okay, so will you be able to do this by looking at into this documentation so that I can run in the background, and tomorrow we can basically look into the migration, or do you want me to show this stuff of replication? Because this setup of preparation hosts will take approximately 15 minutes. Okay, so is it okay if I do this replicate Hyper-V VMs, okay, by following this stuff in the background, so that tomorrow when we start with provisioning for the first time, track and monitor, and then run test migration, and then we'll complete the migration. We'll look into these aspects. Is that okay? Or do you want me to show replication also in the classroom? Because if I show replication will take some time. Okay, so replication will take at least 5 to 6 hours. So then I think we have to wait for that amount of time for this to be finished. So can I do the replication offline? Okay, right. Sir, if you don't replicate, how do you think servers will start migration? రెప్లికేషన్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇల్లు మారాలండి, ఇల్లు మారాలంటే సామాన్లు తీసుకెళ్ళరా? తీసుకెళ్లకుండానే ఇల్లు మారిపోగలరా? సో రెప్లికేషన్ ఇస్ క్యారింగ్ అవుట్ ఆర్ బేసికలీ కాపీయింగ్ ద డేటా, రైట్? Yeah. So I would expect that you can basically look into this and then do the activities, because this is the activity which I would expect that you would do, right? So because for me, I can't wait for 15 minutes and then start on the stuff and wait for one more day and then do this activity, right? So right, using start replication over here. So provisioning for the first time, this is from where I'll start my next class. This is from where I'll start my next class, right? But I will try to have this the registry or the replication. I'll be doing it offline. If you want, I can take screenshots. That is something which I can do. Right. Yeah. Okay, I can take the screenshots. I can do that. Okay. Right. And one more thing is that the cost is implicated. Obviously, sir, cost is implicated. Okay. Right. And now let me try to speak about one more thing. Okay. So from Monday onwards, okay, you will be getting a registration link of the classroom. Okay, and lot of the people are trying to register to the classes or webinars, whatever we get. Okay, just before the classes. Okay, from the link which you are going to get next, please don't do that, because the approval is going to be changed as manual. Okay, so whenever you get your email, ensure that you are doing your registration, okay, of the next day's class before Indian time. Okay, previous day, at least before 7 p.m. ist. Okay, you will be getting the links earlier. Okay, so for example, if I have to attend the class, okay, of 30th May, then I should be registering that class before 29th. Otherwise it would be difficult. We are changing this registration process to manual approval. Okay, right now the approval is manual, is not manual. Okay, so that is going to be changed. So all of you are expected to register for your classes much prior. Okay, right. Yes, that is the first thing. And next thing, tomorrow classes timing. Tomorrow class timing would be, okay, so Azure on 30th May. Okay, 6 to 7 p.m. IST. Remember, it is in the evening. We are going to try how it is going to look at in the evening. It is going to be 6 to 7 p.m. IST. Right. That is going to be our class timings for tomorrow, Saturday. Right. Are we clear? So tomorrow we do have a class that is from 6 to 7 p.m. IST. Okay, sir. So you will tomorrow we have a class from 6 to 7 p.m. IST, and then we'll be finishing the Hyper-V migration at that point, and then we'll be looking into the other migrations. We have to start VMware, right? So we'll be looking into what is that we'll be doing with respect to VMware. Okay, right. Do we have Azure DevOps in the morning? Right? Yeah. So for the people who have finished Jenkins, I think Arvind, do I need to answer this every week? Last week, didn't I announce the timings? For the people who have finished Jenkins, you have classes on Saturday and Sunday also, right? In the morning slot. Okay, this is for the people who have finished Jenkins only. If you have not finished Jenkins, you don't have any class. Right. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday. Okay. For Azure DevOps. For the people who are basically doing migration, we have just now only Saturday. Let us see what we'll be able to do on Sunday. Okay. Right. Because it is not me. My work is done. You have to finish your migration. You have a lot of work. So you decide it for yourself. Right. Okay, sir. So I think I have to start the other class also. I'll be stopping it over here. Okay, right, and we'll meet again in our next class, which is tomorrow evening. Okay, thanks.